Real confidence has nothing to do with feeling confident. Let that sink in. Everything you've been told about confidence is backwards. Society tells you that confident people feel sure of themselves, that they don't have doubts, that they believe they'll succeed. The Stoics knew this was nonsense, and they developed a completely different approach to confidence that actually works. Epictetus was asked by a student, "How can I become confident in public speaking when I'm terrified of crowds?" And Epictetus said something shocking. "Don't try to eliminate the fear. Understand that your fear is about things outside your control. Focus only on what's within your control, and the fear becomes irrelevant." Think about what confidence usually means. You're confident you'll get the job. Confident the presentation will go well. Confident people will like you. But all of these are outside your control. You cannot control whether you get hired, cannot control how the presentation is received, cannot control others' opinions. So what you're calling confidence is actually delusion. You're confident about things you have no right to be confident about because you don't control them. The Stoic approach is radically different. You become confident in exactly one thing: your ability to respond well to whatever happens, not your ability to make things go your way, your ability to handle things when they don't. This is the confidence Marcus Aurelius had when facing war, plague, betrayal, and the collapse of the empire he was trying to hold together. He wasn't confident things would work out. He was confident he could handle them regardless. Here's the shift. Stop asking, will this work out? Start asking, can I handle it if it doesn't? Because the first question creates anxiety. You're trying to predict the future, trying to control the uncontrollable. The second question creates genuine confidence, because the answer is almost always yes. You can handle rejection, you already have. You can handle failure. You've survived every failure you've ever had. You can handle embarrassment, loss, disappointment, setback. Your track record is 100%. You're still here. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is terrible except fear itself, not the events." The fear of the events. And fear comes from believing you can't handle something, from believing that a particular outcome would destroy you. But when you examine your life honestly, what actually destroyed you? You've been through breakups, job losses, humiliations, failures, and you're still here, still capable, still learning. Nothing actually destroyed you because you're fundamentally resilient. The practice is this. Before any challenging situation, you ask 3 questions. First, what's the worst that could reasonably happen? Not catastrophic thinking, realistic worst case. You give the presentation and people look bored. You ask someone out and they say no. You start the business and it fails. Second, could I survive that? And the answer is almost always yes. Boredom isn't fatal. Rejection isn't fatal. Business failure isn't fatal. Uncomfortable? Yes. End of the world? No. Third, what would I do if that happened? And you make a plan. Not a perfect plan, just a next step. If people look bored, you adjust your delivery. If you get rejected, you process it and move forward. If the business fails, you learn and try something else. Now you've done something profound. You've looked at the worst case, confirmed you could handle it, and planned for it. The thing you were afraid of is now just a scenario you're prepared for. And preparation creates confidence. But here's where it gets deeper. The Stoics didn't just prepare for external outcomes. They prepared for internal reactions. They knew that the real challenge isn't what happens. It's how you respond emotionally to what happens. Marcus Aurelius practiced this constantly. Before meetings, he would imagine people insulting him, disagreeing with him, undermining him. Then he would practice responding with calm rationality. Not rehearsing what he'd say, rehearsing who he'd be, because confidence isn't about having the perfect response. It's about maintaining your center regardless of what happens. It's emotional stability under pressure, and that's trainable. Every time you do something uncomfortable and maintain your composure, you're building real confidence. Not confidence in outcomes, confidence in yourself, in your ability to stay present, to think clearly, to respond rather than react. The world gives you this training constantly. Every difficult conversation, every rejection, every setback, every moment of uncertainty. These aren't obstacles to confidence, they're the gym where confidence is built. But most people avoid these experiences. They stay in their comfort zone. They only do things they're sure will work out. And then they wonder why they lack confidence. You lack confidence because you've never proven to yourself that you can handle difficulty. Epictetus said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." Every challenge is revealing you to yourself. Are you resilient or fragile? Adaptable or rigid? Capable or incapable? And you find out by facing challenges, not by avoiding them. Here's the paradox. People with true confidence often feel nervous. They feel doubt. They feel fear. But they act anyway because they're not confident in outcomes. They're confident in their ability to handle whatever happens. Think about someone you consider genuinely confident. Not arrogant, not fake, genuinely confident. Watch them closely. They make mistakes. They get rejected. They fail, but they don't fall apart. They don't hide. They keep showing up. That's the confidence the Stoics cultivated. The confidence to keep showing up, to keep trying, to keep learning. Not because success is guaranteed, but because growth happens in the trying. Your practice. This week, do one thing that scares you, not recklessly, thoughtfully. Ask for something you want. Share something you created. Have the difficult conversation. Start the project. Whatever you've been avoiding because you're not confident it will work out. Before you do it, use the 3 questions. Worst case, could you survive it? What would you do? Then do it anyway. Not because you feel confident, because you're building confidence through action. The Stoics had a phrase, Amor Fati, love of fate. It means accepting and embracing whatever happens, not passively, actively, seeing every outcome as an opportunity to practice your principles. You don't get confident by having things go your way. You get confident by handling things when they don't, by proving to yourself repeatedly that you're bigger than your circumstances, that you're resilient, that you're capable. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and political chaos. He couldn't control any of it, but he could control his response, and his response was excellence, leadership, wisdom, service. Not because he felt confident things would work out, because he was confident in his ability to act with virtue regardless of outcomes. This is available to you right now. You don't need to wait until you feel confident. You don't need to eliminate doubt or fear. You just need to understand that real confidence is acting in alignment with your values regardless of how you feel. The feeling follows the action, not the other way around. You act courageously and courage grows. You act confidently and confidence develops. You act with integrity and self-trust builds, but if you wait to feel confident before you act, you'll wait forever, because the feeling comes from doing the thing, not from thinking about the thing. So stop asking yourself, do I feel confident? Start asking, what would I do if I were confident? And then do that. Not because you feel it, because you're choosing it, because you understand that real confidence is a choice, not a feeling. The Stoics mastered this. They walked into uncertain situations with their heads high, not because they knew what would happen, but because they knew who they were. They knew their principles, they knew their capacity, they knew they could handle whatever came. You can too. Not by eliminating fear or doubt, by moving forward with them, by understanding that the presence of fear doesn't mean absence of confidence, it means presence of courage, and courage is confidence in action.